Hello, this is Larone Koonce, and this is On the Stoop, and this is your update of the Norman Seabrook trial for day 11, November 6, Monday. All right, today was a short session. Usually the court runs from 9:30 to about 2:30. Today the jury came in at 9:30 and they left before 11. So there wasn't much information introduced, new information introduced. They did have a paralegal specialist from the U.S. Attorney's Office come in and present phone records, Verizon phone records that showed flurries of phone calls from Jonah Resnick and Norman Seabrook and Murray Huberfeld. You know, so they showed series of phone calls centered around certain dates, and they introduced that into evidence. That in and of itself is sort of not very exciting, but when you are aware of the timeline, then it makes more sense. All right, there's a flurry of phone calls that happened in December 2013, the annuity meeting that the trustees had, the COBA trustees had, where they signed the resolution to move $10 million to Platinum Partners, happened in January of 2014. So about a month later, after these flurries of phone calls that happened in December, about a month, 3 weeks later, then they had this meeting where they moved $10 million. And then after the meeting, you see another flurry of phone calls between Seabrook and Jonah Resnick and Huberfeld. And then in July of 2014, when you had the second meeting of the trustees of the COBA Annuity Fund have signed the second resolution to send another $5 million to Platinum Partners, you had another flurry of phone calls that happened before that meeting, and directly after, the same day, you had a flurry of phone calls between Norman Seabrook, Jonah Resnick, and Murray Huberfeld. And then you also had a flurry of phone calls that happened in December of 2014, centered around the time where they are saying that Seabrooks received the Ferragamo bag that allegedly contained $60,000. So they also have an email that was sent to Murray Huberfeld, who is the head of Platinum Partners, from Jonah Resnick on December 11th. And in that email is an invoice for $60,000 that he sent into Platinum Partners. So I guess they're going to try to make the case that Jonah Resnick communicated with Murray Huberfeld and informed him that he was going to give Seabrook $60,000, and he was told, or either he told Murray Huberfeld that he was going to send an invoice for $60,000, and that's what transpired that day. An invoice for $60,000 was sent from Jonah Resnick to Huberfeld. Now, this is interesting because they also have a check that was written from, they have a check that was written from Murray Huberfeld from Platinum Partners to Jonah Resnick 4 days later on December 15th. I guess reimbursing him of the $60,000 that he had allegedly given Seabrook on the 11th. They also have a video of image of Seabrook's vehicle matching his license plate crossing the Triborough Bridge on December 11th, the day that he was supposed to allegedly receive this Ferragamo bag with $60,000. Also remember, they also have video footage of Jonah Resnick going to the Ferragamo store on Fifth Avenue and purchasing the bag. And they also went as far as to bring in the security director of Ferragamo to verify that the bag that Seabrooks had in his house that the FBI found when they searched his house is the same bag that Jonah Resnick purchased on December 11th. So we have that information, and that's pretty much where we are right now. That was the last witness that was going to testify. There's not going to be any more witnesses. There's not going to be any more information introduced to the jury tomorrow, November 7th, Tuesday, they're going to have closing arguments that are supposed to last from 9 to 5. So after that, they're going to turn it over to the jury, and we're just going to have to wait and see what the jury decides. So I'm going to keep you informed. I'm going to go tomorrow. I'm going to hear the whole story, or both stories of this alleged crime, and I'm going to report back to you. So until then, I would like to say peace and stay safe.